Hey Abesterians, and particularly hi Ma, hi Steve's mom, and welcome to our very first, well my very first cooking video. I don't know what's gonna happen, my videos are not scripted, so I'm just gonna try and make this happen. We should tell you guys what the ingredients are. In order to make lamb curry, you obviously need lamb, so we have lamb leg steaks, and you need about 1 kilo of this. Now, apparently, lamb is not readily available in the States, so you might want to do with chicken, but we'll hold on to that thought because there's a little bit of a note with using chicken instead of red meat like lamb or beef. So moving on, you need a bit of ginger. Well, actually this is a lot, but we're gonna use about that much there, and you'll see later why. You need garlic. Well, I'm using garlic in a jar. It's best if you use garlic that's fresh. So anyway, I'm using this garlic from a jar because I'm too lazy to get fresh ones and cut fresh ones and all that. But if you are gonna use fresh ones, you're gonna need about 6 cloves of garlic. Obviously you need some onions. I don't know why I say obviously, because for those who don't know how to make curry, you don't know why onions are involved in the first place. Potatoes, these are moonlight brush potatoes. How many will this serve, Abel? I don't know. In terms of spices, you'll need turmeric powder, not that much. I'll show you guys later how much to use. Mustard seeds, black mustard seeds are important. You can see it's black. Don't get the brown ones, brown mustard seeds don't work, or yellow mustard seeds don't work at all. I've tried it, it's disgusting, so use that. And you'll need fennel seeds. There, that's how they look like. Some fennel, ground fennel powder. Cloves. Can you see that? I don't know how to do this. Cloves. Cumin seeds. There you go. Fenugreek seeds. There's a very little there. Can't really see, but anyway. Cardamom pods. This, I can tell it's about 3 or 4 pieces. Cinnamon stick. Just 1. And 2 star anise. There you go. And you have that. Now, of course, most importantly will be the curry powder. Now, I don't know what sort of curry powders you guys have over there, but this is what I use. It's called Barber's meat curry powder. If you can't find this, try to find a chili-based curry powder from your grocery store. I've used Keen's curry powder before, which is yellow and peppery. So the spice is different with that one, but I'm sure it can still work. You just gotta tweak the spices and the seasoning later on. Yep, and also you need about 1 liter of chicken stock. Coming to the very important note about using chicken instead of lamb. Now with chicken, if you're gonna use 1 kilo of chicken, it's going to release a lot of juices into the vessel, so you don't want to have 1 liter of chicken stock. So how it's gonna happen is that once you put the chicken in and it starts to cook, midway through it will release a lot of fluids and lots of juices, and you don't want to add any more, otherwise it'll be too runny. So what you're gonna do is you can always add water later on if it's too thick or dry, but you can't remove it. So that's why that's important to bear in mind when using chicken. So yeah, so that's the introduction to all the ingredients and stuff, and then we'll move on to the processing. And right, so I've got the lamb all chopped up. It's basically cubed into bite-sized pieces, and the potatoes, yep, skin them and cube them as well, like so. Okay, don't leave the skin on because it's gonna taste funny in a dish like this. Like also, the onions are peeled and quartered and put into a food processor, and with the garlic earlier, if you're using fresh garlic, 6 cloves also in there. If not, I've done with 1.5 tablespoons of ready-made, pre-chopped, lazy ass garlic. Right, and also with the ginger, I haven't sliced them yet, but they will eventually go into the food processor as well. But I just want to show you the size, about that much, and then you're gonna slice them thinly, not because of anything, because it's gonna get mashed up anyway. It's just easier for it to get blended up. So yeah, that goes into there, and then we'll come back and do the spices. The onion, the garlic, and the ginger into the food processor, and now we're going to dice it up and mince it up. Now I'm going to just do it on pulse, so it's just easier to control. There we go. So we want it to be a little bit chunky, so fine but not a paste. If you can see it. Yep. So finely chopped but not a paste. Now for this little bit we have the cinnamon sticks, so we just have that in the bowl, and 2 star anises. So we have cloves there. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It seems little, but it's actually quite powerful stuff. With the cardamom pods, as I said earlier, I can tell you it's about 3 or 4. There we go, just put it in there. Fenugreek seeds. Pretty much that's the whole thing, so there we go. Just empty all that in there. Whole cumin seeds, there we go. What I'm gonna do is show you how much in the palm of my hands. That's how much I use. Now we go with the fennel seeds. I don't know how you want to convert this, maybe 1.5 teaspoons. There we go. The mustard seeds. Now mustard seeds can be a little bit extra, so we don't really have to measure that much, but I usually just pour it straight into the bowl, but I'm gonna just put it in my hand so it's easier for you guys to see and gauge. There we go. There we go. And in terms of the powders, we're gonna do that later on while we're actually cooking. So the oil is pretty hot right now. We're gonna put in our spices real quick. Give it a little stir. Now you can see that, you can hear that popping. Now once it starts to pop like that, it's very quick. You don't want to burn it. Just have a little bit of an aroma, and that's it. And we put in our minced onion, ginger, and garlic, and there we go. Now because there's so much juice from the onion, from the blending, we're just gonna let it sit there for a bit and let it kind of cook through and dry it up. So that's half cooked now, and that's what we want. We want it to be half cooked. So, and that's pretty much about 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes. Here we go. And then we can add in our lamb. I'm sorry for my vegan/vegetarian friends watching this. Well, I'm pretty sure that at the very beginning you would have turned this video off. And next up we have our chicken stock. Imperial. So kind of just pour it in like so. Well, might not be 1 liter because you only need enough liquid to cover it with runny curry. So add a little bit more. So almost 1 liter, so about maybe 750 milliliters. Now the one other thing that I forgot to mention that, well, you probably would have it readily available in your house. If you don't, well, it's no loss. That is milk. You can use coconut milk, but just very little. I'll show you how little. Well, maybe a 1/4 cup. The whole point of putting the milk in the dish is so that it's rich, or richer. And we have the curry. I don't know how much exactly. Now, but just watch. So I'm just doing that, basically covering the entire top liberally, quite generous with it. Again, as you can see, I am not measuring anything. I am horrible. I am terrible. So that's about 2 cups of curry powder. As you can see, the color of the curry powder is very different from a lot of other brand. So now we're gonna put in some ground fennel. Again, this is not a lot actually. It's about maybe 1.5 tablespoons of fennel powder. Ground fennel. The turmeric powder. This is about maybe 1 tablespoon. Not too much. Now, as you can see, it's just bubbling like that. So just kind of leave it for a little bit, for maybe like a minute or two. We want it to bubble as much as possible before we actually manually stir it in. So just give it a minute. While that's happening, we want to put in some iodized sea salt flakes. About big pinches. So we're going to do about maybe... I usually put in a little, this much, well, maybe 3.5 big pinches. Now, as you can see, that's happening. It's bubbling all over. We're gonna now push the spice powders into the dish, and voila! So that's how it's looking at the moment, but it's not done. It's far from done. So it's still on high heat, by the way. I've not turned it down, so it's still on high heat. So you want that to keep going. But now, I'm going to turn it down so that it can simmer. Now, what we want to happen here is for it to simmer and thicken. So that will take about, I don't know, about an hour. Almost forgot the potatoes. The potatoes. So we'll leave that for now, and we'll come back. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the finished product. Well, sort of. You could reduce it further if you like it to be thicker, but in terms of it being cooked, it is certainly that. So if you like it to be this kind of consistency, well, you're pretty much done. Otherwise, you can just let it simmer further and reduce. So there you have it, guys. I hope that you will try the recipe and let me know how it turns out. Now remember, if it's too spicy, after it's all done, yogurt works wonders. And for those who know what raita is, that's also good to dampen the spice and the heat. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope that this was helpful, I think. Again, this was not the recipe that she asked for, but it's actually better. Well, it's not better, it's just different from the one that she had, and a different way of making it. Perhaps one of these days I'll make the one that she was talking about, which is a baked curry, which you put it in the oven, which is just very easy. Just put everything in there and just chuck it into the oven. That'll be an interesting one. So, but until then, I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch you next time. See ya!